what's going on, YouTubers, well, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Natural Born Thriller here, as I welcome you all to this TNA Impact. Well, it's going to be results of it from October 24th, 2024, for this TNA Wrestling review. So, this will be the Go Home Show edition when it comes to TNA Bound for Glory 2024. Normally, I'll be on camera doing these reviews, but um, for you know, reasons of my own here, I decided to just do an audio recording here when it comes to reviewing. We'll have it on the show of TNA Impact when it comes to leading up it's gonna lead up, I should say, to TNA Bound for Glory on a Saturday. So this is the Gong Show edition that we're gonna go through, and I'll let you know how about the Gong Show. And afterwards I will do a mini preview. Even though I already done about two previews already, for the last being the Asylum episodes already, from episode 178 and 179. So I'm still gonna do it either way. So that being said, let's get right into the show here, folks. The show opened up first of all with Frankie Kazarian, AJ Francis, Sammy Callahan, Laredo Kid, Jake Something, and Jason Hash. When it comes to AJ Francis, he's being accompanied by KC Navarro, and Jason Hash is being accompanied by from her his name. Yeah, oh yeah, John Skyler. Now this match, I was watching this match and I'm like, what was the point of this match? Because these six participants are going to be part of the Koya Shot Gauntlet match that's going to be on Bound for Glory's pre-show. And I was saying to myself, okay, so what's the point of this match? I mean, the match was good, you know. There was some cool spots there as well. Yeah, so it was good for the most part. But I was watching it, I was like, well, what's the point of this? And then because obviously I didn't pay attention to what was going on in commentary or why we're doing this. But it comes clear after what comes to the stipulation of this match here. Because these men are part of the Koya Shot Gauntlet match, this basically was going to be determine who's going to win and who lose when it comes to the numbers that they're going to be getting for the Koya Shot Gauntlet match. So, like I said, it was a good match. What did they hear? With some key spots that they were doing. Everyone got their stuff in. Even when it comes to outside and the Ferguson got their all stuff in as well. In the way. But in the end, it was AJ Francis getting the win, and he pinned Frankie Kazarian. So what this means is, since AJ Francis pinned Frankie Kazarian, this means AJ Francis will be gaining the number 20 spot. And meanwhile, because Frankie Kazarian lost, he took the pinfall. He's going to be entering the number 1 spot. So he's going to have a disadvantage, while AJ Francis is going to have, the higher advantage. It's basically like the Royal Rumble when it comes to the Koya Shotgun match, is what we're doing here. So yeah, that's the numbers that we know so far when it comes to who's going to be in this Koya Shotgun match. As far as the other numbers, it's going to be at a random draw. When it comes to the numbers that they drew. So, do I think AJ Francis is going to win? No, but I'll get to more. I want to do my preview for a little bit later. So, but either way, folks, that was that match. Then we get to let's see. We had Jonathan Gresham, who was basically conducting an interview because he's going to have a match against Josh Alexander, and basically, Jonathan Gresham has now rediscovered himself, and he is driven to reclaim what he has lost, and he's gonna start by have a match against Josh Alexander to get back onto that right direction. So ahead to the grudge match, that Moose is gonna have with Mike Santana. Mike Santana returns to his streets in the Lower East Side of New York, which I thought was pretty good video vignette that promo they did for Mike Santana. Then we get to what they call Launch Party by Elegance, by Trash by Elegance, and the personal concierge to reveal the transformation, new makeover of Heather Reckless, who's now being called Heather by Elegance. She comes out and she looks great, by the way. Hopefully that's not hair extensions like she had last time. But she looks great, And I hate this whole by Elegance thing that they're doing. And as usual, Trash by Elegance was terrible in this whole thing. But then we had Cyberside coming out and crashing the party, only for NXT's Brinsley Reese comes out. Basically, they took care of the Elegance girl. I'm just what they call them, the bi. I don't know. Who cares? It's trash. More so, Trash by Elegance is more trash. So, but anyways, moving on. Um, so we had Josh Alexander, who's being accompanied by these guys named Judas Icarus and or Icarus. Judas Icarus and Travis Williams. And this, by the way, this is a new faction with Josh Alexander now with these two newcomers in TNA wrestling, and they are calling themselves the Northern Armory. But Josh Alexander and Jonathan Gresham had a match, pretty good match with Josh Alexander getting the win. Now, but that was not a fair win because he cheated. He knew in some form Margie had while referee was being distracted with Josh Alexander tossing his headgear to the referee for the referee to pull away. That was the part of the distraction. Then that's when Josh Alexander pulled something out of his knee pad. I couldn't tell what it was. Probably looked like a blackjack in a way, but he mused it onto Jonathan Gresham, a former Hardjet, and then hits him with a C4 spike and get the win. And then after the match, they start jumping on Jonathan Gresham, and that's when Steve Atkins comes out. But he the Dumbest Game got the better of him, and they tie him on the ropes. They was going to take care of him, but all of a sudden we got a few locker rooms up coming out of Sammy Callahan, Cody Deaner. I can't remember who else came out, but I remember seeing Ace Steels coming out though. And basically, this is a battle between Steve Macklin and Josh Alexander, who's going to have their own type of grudge match for TNA Battle Glory. So that's basically what that was about. We had a match with Wendy Chu for NXT, accompanied by Rosemary. It was a match with Jody Dredd, who's one half of the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. There was no Danny Luna because they said something about she had to deal with some personal issues. So that's why she couldn't be there. But she will be there at Bound for Glory alongside with Jody Dredd, when it comes to them being Spitfire. Because they got defending tag titles against Winnie Chu and Rosemary. The team that I don't like, by the way. Because Rosemary's better than that. And I don't buy Winnie Chu being this scary character anyways. And it's fucking garbage. But Winnie Chu wins. She beats Jody Dredd. Obviously because Jody Dredd had no help because Rosemary was going to be a distraction. That's what it was. And the whole distraction happened was when Rosemary goes in the pillow, and then referee takes it out and all that, and then that's when Rosemary struck on to Jody Dredd, and then Wayne Chu capitalized on it and got the win. And there you go. They better not win those tag belts. Rosemary is better than that, by the way. Being a TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions, she should be going after the TNA Knockouts World Championship, and being in a better position than that. So, the system are sending a warning, to those Bound for Glory that they're facing. Especially they mentioned the whole 8-man tag match that's going to happen on in the main event, which we'll get to later by the way. But yeah, there you go. Then we have the commentators, I'm assuming this is what they're plugging, what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen here is I'm assuming it's gonna be for the next time we do TNA Impact is that you're gonna have Trash by Elegance and uh Heather by Elegance. That the by Elegance girls, whatever they'll call them by as whatever. The face side Brookside and NXT's Grizzly Reese. So there you go. And yeah, there you go. Maven time. The Hardys, Matt and Jeff teamed up with ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay versus the System, Moose, JDC, and the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards being accompanied by Alicia Edwards. And the match is always good. What did they hear? But in the end, it was all the faces winning, the Hardys and the ABC. But all of a sudden they got jumped after the match by the System. Also, Mike Santana comes for the save, only for to be a face off between Mike Santana and Moose, and then Alicia Edwards comes in with the candlestick, hitting Mike Santana, but Mike Santana sells it, and then Moose took an opportunity to take out Mike Santana, and then the beatdown continues, and the System stands tall. But that was not it, folks, because even though this was on the final match, this was the main event match of the show. What ended the show was a contract signing for the respectives of TNA World Championships. What comes to the TNA World Heavyweight Championship and what comes to the TNA Knockouts World Championship. And it was directed by the director of Authority, Santina Morella, in the ring. And they did first with the TNA Knockouts to do their contract signing. And Master Samovich said what she had to say, and then she signed the contract. And then Jordan Grace said what she had to say, and she signed her contract and made it official. It's officially going to happen for Saturday's TNA Bound for Glory. Master Samovich to face the TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordan Grace. And then it was the turn of the men's here. So John Hendry cut a promo about as a matter of fact, I think I remember what the promo he cut too, by the way. It was something about that he was played a role as a lawyer for Dolph Ziggler at the time. I'm assuming, I can't remember if that was the case or not. But apparently he played a role of a lawyer, and then he says, people didn't knew of his name. People now know his name, and also and people always say his name, and then and people will can't remember what not I take that back now I can't remember what the one line he said afterwards. But the whole key point on this promo is that he's going to become the TNA World Champion. And then McNamara saying his piece and all that, and then he signed his contract, and that was the end of that. But not so fast, because Frankie Kazarian comes out. Because keep in mind, Frankie Kazarian, for out of nowhere from last week's TNA Impact, he's been announced that he's going to be the special guest referee for that main event match between Ryan Nick Nemeth and Joe Hendry for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And he gave us a reason why he's he got this opportunity to become the special guest referee, because he went to the Earl Hebner Academy because to learn referee and all that, and then it was approved by TNA management, and then Santino Morella had to approve as well. So like that, I can't remember what else it was said. It's ridiculous that we got Frankie Kazarian, who's going to be a special guest referee. All these two guys. And I guess he made a pleasing case too, because because he felt like he was screwed over. Because he did beat Joe Hendry, well, only because he cheated, and then he got exposed by Nick Nemeth and other officials that came in to the official referee of it, to let know that he used a weapon. It wasn't a fair win, know that, and that's when Santino Morella had to stop the match, and that's where we got Joe Hendry winning the match here. So and the Frank Kazarian Just talk about he's like telling these guys, like Nemi fan Joe Hendry, you know, he's going to quote right down the middle, and he says, and this is the key line he was saying. He says, you know, um, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion will walk out. So it was something of that line that he said. What comes to the key word he was using. What comes to hitting that you know the TNA World Heavyweight Champion will walk out of Alpha Glory. Because keep in mind, Frankie Kazarian, he's in that Quarter Shot Gauntlet match. Even though he's number one, I still have him as my pick, but I'll get to more of that later. But he's still my pick to win because I do see him potentially become TNA World Champion by being in that match, Quarter Shot Gauntlet match to win it and then to cash it in, which, again, I'll get to more of that later. But just to keep that in mind, folks, just a reminder. But that was the keyword thing that concerning said here that he'll make sure that the TNA World Champion, walks out of Bound for Glory. And then he talks about Jordan Grace and Masha Stemovich about I would say the same way what you brought when it comes to your match, but if I was refereeing that match or something like that. And then all of a sudden, um I just remember how Frankie Kazarian got taken out. How it even happened too, by the way. But either way, Frankie Kazarian got taken out by the way. He got taken out by Santa Morella. He got taken out by I can't remember if he was put through a table. I'm pretty sure he was. Maybe by Joe Hendry or maybe by but with the assistant Jordan Grayson, some Marshall Simmons. I can't remember exactly, but basically Frankie Kazarian got what he deserved there, for being an asshole. But either way, um, so that's basically what that segment was, and that's how well, actually they ended the segment there because they ended by having the challengers facing each other. When it comes to their respective challengers, when it comes to the TNA World, not for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship between Ryan Nick Nemeth and Joe Hendry, and then with Pastor Simovich and the TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordan Grace, all facing each other, and then and then the champions holding the belts up to the challengers. That's a close, and that was closing for the show. So there you go, folks. That was the Home Show. As far as the Go Home Show was, it wasn't a bad Go Home Show. I mean, it was one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time to go into. So it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it for what it was. The segments, especially that one segment I didn't care for, and the one match I didn't care for either. I'm pretty sure you already know what match I'm talking about. But either way, not bad. Tomorrow Wrestling were 5 matches. I believe it was 5 matches. Let me double check. No, I think it was 4 matches. Now that I think about it. Yeah, it was 4 matches. My fault, folks. Yeah, it was 4 matches. Because again, we had seconds on the show that took time because to try to get at least one more match on here, but I didn't care. It was still a good show. So my overall rating for the show, 8 out of 10. I thought it did okay job. And I mean the key matches they got over. What comes to leading up to Bound for Glory is what as far I thought they did a good job of that home show. So that's basically the gist of it. But there you go, folks. That was my review for the TNA Impact results from October 24, 2024. And now, folks, we move on to the portion of the final time of me doing this TNA Bound for Glory 2024 preview. So Bound for Glory, as what comes to this recording, by the way, folks, I should have mentioned this when it comes to this to the recording. It will be recorded, earlier in the day of October 26, 2024, because it's going to be on the exact same date later on tonight of October 26, 2024 for TNA Bound for Glory in Detroit, Michigan. So I do want to say congratulations to Rhino for being a Detroit native to be inducted into to the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame. Well deserved for being you know the the inaugural Bound for Glory 2005 main eventer alongside with Jeff Jarrett, who's a TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame of his own right, by defeating Jeff Jarrett, become the team. I was trying to say the NWA at the time. Because it was like a merge of TNA and NWA at the time. Until it was not about that anymore because TNA was going to to carve their own path. But because of Rhino becoming the NWA world champion and also being a two-time TNA World Tag Team Champion. So Rhino also had done some memorable times in TNA with promos and all that, and and things that he's done with during the Dixie Carter era, and even when it comes to the Vince Russo writing, even when you had Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff involved as well. Rhino has even done some things when Scott D'Amore was there, until Scott D'Amore is no longer there, unfortunately. Um, but Rhino has been a key point of TNA wrestling, even days of him being called the War Machine Rhino. So yes, well deserved for Rhino being in the Hall of Fame. Another one that's going to be is also worthy to be in the Hall of Fame this year as well, to share the Hall of Fame class as well for 2024 is the late Bob Ryder, who was a former online wrestling journalist who was also a co-founder, I should say, a co-founder of TNA Wrestling back in 2002 with the late Jerry Jarrett and his son Jeff Jarrett, and he worked as an executive for the company until his death in 2020, unfortunately. So it's another well deserved for a TNA personnel, like a Bob Ryder, just like what they did with Don West last year, that he got also to be inducted into the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame, sharing alongside with his partner in crime when it comes to doing commentary for TNA, Mike, with the professor Mike Tenay. So Bob Ryder's getting his place, his his stamp of approval to be into the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame. Well deserved, and also impressed to his family still for the loss of Bob. So with that out of the way now, folks, let's get to the matches and start with the pre-show. The pre-show will feature a 20-person intergender Warrior Shot Gauntlet match where the winner will receive a trophy and a contract that can invoke anytime within 1 year for a championship match of their choosing, which means they could get the TNA District Media Championship, the TNA Exhibition Championship, the TNA Knockouts Championship, because this also involves the knockouts as well. When it comes to the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships, which they got to find a partner of that knockouts, to do so. Which is why it worries me that we're gonna have Trash by Elegance on here, and maybe Heather by Elegance as well, where potentially they could win, which if they are in the match, spoiler, they ain't winning. So we could be relieved for that. And when it comes to the TNA World Tag Team Championships, that's the same thing. Let's say if Jason Haas wins, because he's one of the good hands, with with John Skyler. Let's say if Jason Haas wins, then Jason Haas will call his shot where he and his tag team partner John Skyler's the good hands can invoke the tag team title match, anytime they want. Or and they're gonna go to the TNA World Championship, which probably that leads to what I think about this one here, because the participants in the match is Frankie Kazarian as number one and AJ Francis as number 20, because it's going to be 20 men and women knockouts. You know, it's going to be 20 persons in this match. Frankie Kazarian is going to be entering number one. You also have Sammy Callahan, Laredo Kid, Jake Something, and Jason Hodge in the match. So even though Frankie Kazarian is number one and he's got a disadvantage, meanwhile you got AJ Francis who has the full advantage. AJ Francis doesn't matter if he is number 20, he ain't winning, because the real winner of this match, who I definitely see winning this match, is Frankie Kazarian. Especially the story in the promo that Frankie Kazarian did when it came to the TNA Home Show edition that I just covered on with you guys already, a few minutes ago, from from the main event segment that it did, where Frankie Kazarian always interrupting and everything, and says that he'll make sure that the TNA World Champion walks out of Bound for Glory, and I believe it's going to be him. Now he is going to call it down the middle. I believe he will call it down the middle, but at the same time, what I can see happening is what I think is going to happen, which I'll get to later. It's going to be something like how WWE has done in the past. Well, I'll get to that. But I'm gonna go for Kickstarter for the win. He's my pick to win, and that's the pre-show portion of it. Okay, folks. Now I see. So they're not saving the the elegance chicks, girls, whoever you want to call them by, ladies, the elegance ladies, or maybe here's that name for them. I don't care for the elegance name for it, but ladies by elegance. That could be their tag team name. But anyway, it's Trash and Heather by Elegance, the ladies of elegance, versus Saya, Saya Brookside and Brenly Ruiz. Um they're gonna have the good the ladies by elegance win. I'm pretty sure they will. And who takes the loss here? I'm pretty sure Brenly Ruiz from NXT part is gonna take the loss here. So that's the pre-show. So I thought I was going to see that match for the TNA Impact show. That's for next week. But no, they're saying they're actually doing it on the pre-show here. So I really don't care to see that pre-show match. To be honest with you folks. So uh, I mean, I'll have it put in the background and then multitask on my phone, wherever. And I don't care. But anyways, moving on. Now we can move on. Josh Alexander versus Steve Macklin with um Steve Macklin is my pick to win here, to get the win here, over on Josh Alexander. Speedball Mike Bailey to defend his TNA X Division Championship against El Higo Del Vikingo. And Mike Bailey, I don't see him losing the belt, so I go with Mike Bailey to retain. For the TNA Knockouts World Championships, Spitfire defends it against Rosemary and Wendy Chu. So Jody Dredd and Dane Lund, they better win. Spitfire to retain. But I don't want to see Wendy Chu win a tag title. In fact, she shouldn't even be on here in the first place. Her character is trash. Moving on. For the TNA Knockouts World Championship, Jordan Grace defends it against Masha Samovich, where I definitely see Masha Samovich finally getting her moment, becoming the new TNA Knockouts World Champion. So yes, I'm gonna go with Masha Samovich to win. Then we get to a three-way tag team match for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. The System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, will defend it against the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, to face also ABC, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay in Full Metal Mayhem. Basically, their own version of TLC, because they can't call it Table Stars and Cheers, because that's WWE's match, and on top of that they trim up that match, so that's why. So, but anyway, folks, my pick to win here is the Hardys. I'm going for the Hardys to win here. I think they're gonna have a final run as TNA World Tag Team Champions. And once that run finally comes to an end, they'll stick around for a bit, and then I believe after that they'll go right back to WWE. So and then they could finally be in the WWE Hall of Fame. So there you go. Mike Santana versus Moose. Mike Santana, he's my pick to win. So there you go. And finally, the main event. Oh, I'm sorry. Not yet. We got one more match to go because we got for the TNA Digital Media and the International Heavyweight Wrestling Championships being defended by PCO against Matt Cardona in a Monsters Ball match. And I believe there's going to be a lot of shenanigans. We're going to probably see some debuts, some returns, some type of element surprises in this one. You're going to be seeing some type of shenanigans and this type of thing that like it always does when it comes to PCO matches. And it's also even not that safe to say because Matt Cardona matches too. Especially if you see how GCW was transpired with Matt Cardona versus Joey Janela at the time when they first went to the Hammerstein Ballroom. That was the only thing I enjoyed about that show. Besides Ali Cash versus Ruby Soho. Um, but either way, um, I definitely see PCO retain here unless they swerve us and have Matt Cardona win here. You know, I yeah, I could definitely see that happening in a way. But I'm still going PCO for the win. So um and finally, the main event. Now begins the main event. For the TNA World Championship with Frankie Kazarian to be the special guest referee of this match with Nick Nair defensive against Joe Hendry. And I believe in this match that Frankie Kazarian is going to call down the middle. Now here's the way I see things when it comes to this. Frankie Kazarian calls it down the middle, only for the cash in the middle of the match while he's still he's a special guest referee and everything, and he starts pinning one of those guys, and he starts counting for himself and becomes the new TNA World Champion. I mean, it sounds stupid and silly and all that, but it wouldn't surprise me if that ends up being the case. It would not surprise me. Or he could just call it down the middle and whoever wins between Nick Nemeth and Joe Hendry, which by the way, my prediction for this one, I do see Joe Hendry winning, but only for his celebration to be cut short after Frankie Kazarian beats him down, lays him out, and then catches in his opportunity and pins Joe Hendry. Obviously, you need a referee to be involved, and I could definitely see that happening. And then Frankie Kazarian becomes the new TNA World Champion because again, the key line on that Frankie Kazarian said on that show on TNA Impact, the home show audition was that you know he's going to make sure that the TNA World Heavyweight Champion walks out of Bound for Glory, and I think he means himself because because again the only way that can happen too. That's the thing. The only way that can happen if he can if he can win, I should say, cash in. No, he's got to win first. He's got to win that Corey Sharp Gauntlet match. If he can win that Corey Sharp Gauntlet match, then only then he can do that. So we'll see how that turns out. Which is why Frankie Kazarian is my pick to win, and I want Frankie Kazarian to win. I think it's finally time for Frankie Kazarian to become a TNA World Champion. Frankie Kazarian, so far in this company, has pretty much almost done it all. Former tag team champions, former exhibition champion. The only thing he needs to win is that TNA World Championship. It's the only thing that he's always wanted to go after. It's one title that he wanted to get. It's one thing that needs to complete his TNA status of to eventually become in the future a TNA Hall of Famer and to be one of the most decorated TNA champions of all time and to be a Triple Crown champion in TNA. So either way, Frankie Kazarian is my pick to win. So, and there you go, folks. That's my prediction for TNA Bound for Glory 2024. And with that being said, folks, thank you all for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up from here now. So thank you all for watching, or on the way, thank you all for listening to this audio edition of this TNA Wrestling review when it comes to giving you TNA Wrestling, when it comes to TNA Impact results from October 24th, 2024. And listen also to the TNA Bound for Glory 2024 preview. I will do a separate video for uh the preview portion. So you still have the preview on here as well when it comes to putting it together. You know, but same time I'm still gonna split that audio video bit so I could put it on the preview as well for my channel of the playlist. So but there you go. So that being said, I'm gonna call it close up shop, and there you go. For It's a Natural Born Growler, as I say, peace on the street, do be well, stay safe, take care of yourself and everything that's going on in the world. For I am out here, ta for now, as I bid you all an adieu with a little goodbye and good night. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. God bless, and fuck Bruce Pritchard. Take care.